All right. How much? Let me try this. Okay, that's way too much light. There we go. All right. So we're here. We're in front of the car. Let me show you some parts that we have to take off, and then I'm going to show you the part that we're actually working on replacing. I'm hoping this is going to be kind of straightforward. Fingers crossed. But let me show you what we're working with. Here we are in front of the car. We've got the turbo elbow. The engine cover is off. This is what we'll be replacing. This black piece right here. I think you can see it. I am kind of far away. Let's try this. Okay, here's the turb ski. Oh, he's so cute. Yeah, so the engine cover's off. This is just the heat shield that is under the engine cover. There's the turbo. Here is the turbo elbow. So this is the plastic piece that we will be replacing with the CTS turbo elbow. I will get that in just a second, but as you can see, there's some clips that we need to remove, some tubing that we need to pop off, and we'll be able to pop back on. I'm not exactly sure what's supposed to be there. I just noticed that open. So I'll be at the dealerships shortly, so we'll get that all figured out. But here's what we got to start with. You got to remove this piece, and that is this guy right here. There's a button up top. Push the button, it pops right up. And then this thing is just going to have some poppets. Okay. Yeah, well, you can see how I'm struggling, so it'll do that. There looks like to be some tabs in there. Oh, got a ridiculous shadow. These tabs, we'll have to figure those out. But that's the first step, getting this piece out. Now remember, warning, when this lever has been removed, do not shut the hood. You will not be able to open it back up. It's going to be a massive issue. So I've heard. I've never done it, so I'm just kind of speculating. Again, based on what I heard. So, okay. Well, let's get this piece off, and then we'll remove some stuff and see what the next steps are. Okay, so we removed this inlet portion that's part of the cold air. It's how the air intake induction works. It's T20 Torx bits, 2 of them popped right off. I have a trim removal tool from my days installing car stereos, and I just kind of use that to work the clips up off the plastic piece. So we got those off. Need to remove this screw, and then we're gonna have a T25, T30 maybe, something like that in there to remove that. And then what goes back in there with the CTS kit is hex head. I think it's a 5mm. So we got that. That's loose. Let me get these off, and then we'll see what else is going on. Okay, folks, I got it off. This was what they call a son of a gun. So here is this. I think that's like oil recycle, right? This one is not a pinch one. This one was it had like a tab in the back to let go. I'm pretty sure I broke it. So, you know, that's cool. And then this guy down here, I don't know if you can see, this one went into the bottom. That's a pinch style. I ended up using some small channel locks to get under it and pinch both and then pop it off. The screws, you know, you hear, if you've watched any other videos, you know that that bottom screw sucks. So what I ended up doing is finding a small open-end wrench that's like a, what is that, I don't even know what that says. 6mm? I don't know. Basically, I knocked this bit out of a socket holder and then just went a millimeter at a time until I could get it loose enough to get my ham hocks in there and loosen it by hand. So I also disconnected this guy. This again is a pinch style, so it pops off. This one popped off pretty easy. So make sure all the lines are good. I hope that's okay. Seems a little floppy. So, and then it's just going to be kind of reverse installation of this guy. This is the CTS. It doesn't have any tabs for the cables to clip on. I think the 034 Motorsports one does. So in hindsight, maybe get the 034 Motorsports one. So kind of regret not getting that one, but this is where I am right now. So not a whole lot I can do, but there's some little tricks. My floppy socket driver wasn't working, so those were the tools that basically, this guy is the lifesaver, that one's the best one to use. So all right, let me get going back, putting it back together. Okay, any of these elbows manufactured pretty much anymore are going to have the bottom is slotted. Ooh. So they basically probably took an end mill and just came in, just opened up the hole. So now you get your bottom screw in there, finger tight, and then this guy is gonna go in. Ooh. And with that screw, finger tight. Ooh. This has taken a couple of tries to figure out the depth in which you need to screw it in first. This is so hard to do one-handed. Okay, so I don't know if you can see in there. The screw is seated right there. Well, it's not seated, but it's notched, and then you get the screw up here, get that one started, and then you can just tighten them both down. So let's get this guy started. It's windy outside. Before I get that, maybe I should plug this guy in, make sure it's seated correctly. That's clipped on. Get this guy started. I had to loosen it a little bit more just to be able to seat it better. So let's get this guy back on. Actually, we'll wait. Put that guy on last. Let's try to get this thing. And I have a ball-tipped hex head or hex Allen wrench, whatever. Nice and solid. Let's get this guy on. Click. There we go. Let's get this guy back on. Okay. It's nice and solid, tight there. Tight down there. That was pretty easy. This is connected. The bottom breather hose is connected. Now we just got to get this guy on, which might be a chore. Huh. Tighten these guys up. They look like they're seated. That guy's seated. It's a little loose, but once we tighten it up, right, it seats against that lip, that edge. Okay, so at this point, this is where you would just go, reverse of removal. You would reinstall the panel, that guy that goes right here. You would reinstall the hood pop lever and get that going, but we're not going to do that today. Thanks again for watching. Hope you learned something. Hope you saw some tricks that maybe you could use, or buddy. Hopefully the video helps somebody out, because that was a huge pain in the